The hit-and-run spirit seeks revenge on the director who made a film from a real tragedy. The film opens with a couple, Gautam and Netra, having a discussion inside a car. Gautam is an amateur film director who is trying to build his career. With Netra by his side, he plans to make a horror movie. Of course, producing a film requires a considerable amount of money. Gautam then goes to a film production company carrying his script, hoping that his work will be accepted so he can receive funding. Unfortunately, the production company's response is far from what Gautam expected. They reject his script, explaining that it still has many flaws. As a result, Gautam fails to secure any financial support. Feeling disappointed and heartbroken, Gautam falls into sadness. Seeing her partner so down, Netra decides to cheer him up. She immediately contacts two of their friends, Cibi and his girlfriend, Madu. Netra plans to take Gautam out for some fun so he can forget his disappointment about not getting the funding. They all get ready and head to a restaurant called Pondi. There, they drink and enjoy themselves late into the night. Because they are drunk, they decide to go home afterward. However, on the way back, something terrible happens. Due to the effects of alcohol, Gautam accidentally hits a woman with his car, leaving her critically injured. The shocking incident throws everyone into panic and confusion about what to do next. After the unfortunate event, they all return to their respective homes. Later, they start a video call to discuss how to deal with the situation. Netra, Madu, and Cibi join the call first, but Gautam is hard to reach.
You guys okay?
Yeah.
தேவையில்லாத பிரச்சனை. எல்லாரும் சூத்த மூட்டு வீட்லயே ஃபோன் பண்ணு.
பண்ணிட்டேன்டா.
After a while, Gautam finally joins the call. Netra angrily scolds him because she had been trying to reach him for a long time without success. The stress and panic trigger Netra's asthma, forcing her to use her inhaler. Seeing how panicked she is, Gautam feels guilty and quickly apologizes for being late to join the call. Shortly after, Gautam receives a call from a man named Mr. Movielit.
Hello? Sure sir. கண்டிப்பா சார். நீங்களா கேட்டதா சொல்லுங்க சார். Yeah. இல்ல சார், வேணும்னே பண்ணல. தப்பு நடந்து போச்சு. Thank you so much sir. Thank you.
Mr. Movielit is a lawyer hired by Gautam to handle the legal issues they are currently facing. After the accident, Mr. Movielit was tasked with taking the victim to the hospital and handling all the administrative matters. The victim is a woman named Charu, who remains in critical condition and is about to undergo surgery. Gautam hopes the operation goes well so they can avoid criminal charges. Meanwhile, the CCTV footage of the accident will be tampered with by Mr. Movielit to ensure Gautam and his friends can escape legal punishment. Additionally, Mr. Movielit plans to close the case by claiming that the vehicle responsible for hitting Charu could not be identified. Gautam then tells his friends to stay calm, assuring them that everything is under control and handled by Mr. Movielit. Not long after, Gautam's older sister Shruti asks him to talk for a moment. While waiting for Gautam to return, Madu's mother arrives, greeting Cibi and Netra while bringing a cup of drink for Madu. She tells Madu that she and Madu's father will be going to Bangalore the next morning. In fact, they were supposed to leave today, but since they were late, they missed their train. Shortly after, Gautam comes back to his room. The reason Shruti had called him earlier was to ask about the accident that happened to him. Then Shruti comes into Gautam's room to briefly talk with his friends as well.
டேய் உனக்கு ஃபோன் வந்தது பாரு. Hi ka.
Hello. Hi. Don't worry. Don't think about it too much.
Thanks ka.
She tells Gautam not to sleep yet because later that night her husband, Sahil, will be coming home. After discussing that, Shruti returns to her room to rest. Seeing that his phone has run out of battery, Gautam plugs it in to charge and turns it back on. He notices a missed call from Mr. Movielit, but he realizes it too late because his phone had been dead. Cibi tells Gautam to call Mr. Movielit back in case there's something important he wants to say, but right now, Mr. Movielit cannot be reached. Gautam decides to wait for him to call again, and if not, he will try calling him the next morning. Suddenly, the doorbell rings.
வரமாட்டாங்க babe. நீ செல்லாரு.
Gautam opens the door and finds that it's Sahil. Gautam invites him in, but surprisingly, Sahil is not alone. He brings a guest with him. Strangely, Sahil stares at Gautam in a weird way without saying a single word. Gautam immediately tells his friends about this odd behavior.
ஒன்னும் சொல்ல. கூட யாரோ வந்திருந்தாங்க. அது மாதிரி கேவலமா லுக் விட்டு அப்படியே போயிட்டாரு.
Yes. Proceed.
After that, Shruti comes to see Gautam again and tells him to go to sleep soon because Sahil wants to talk to him tomorrow. Since Sahil hasn't eaten after a long journey, Gautam decides to order some food for both Sahil and Shruti. Meanwhile, Madu complains that her room feels extremely cold even though she has already set the air conditioner to 26 degrees. The situation feels strange. As they continue chatting, they suddenly hear the sound of cats coming from Gautam's house.
Akka, kadava seriya sathunga.
The noise becomes so disturbing that Gautam decides to check it out. When he looks around, he is shocked to find the front door open. What's even more alarming is that Shruti and Sahil are nowhere to be found in their room. Gautam starts to panic and tries calling his sister. At that same moment, Netra screams in fear, shocking everyone.
Are you okay?
Netra, you okay?
You okay? What happened?
No, nothing.
God,
What
what's
happened?
going on?
But mother irundichu.
She claims she felt someone touch her shoulder even though the only people in her house are her and her paralyzed mother resting in her room. Meanwhile, Madu, who feels thirsty, drinks the cup her mother had brought earlier, only to realize that it's spoiled milk. This shocks her because her mother knows she is allergic to milk. Furious, Madu rushes to her mother's room to confront her for deliberately giving her spoiled milk. When she returns, her face looks pale and terrified. Cibi, Netra, and Gautam ask what happened, and Madu explains that she's actually alone at home. She remembers clearly that her parents were supposed to leave for Bangalore tomorrow morning, and just a while ago, her mother even came to her room to give her a drink. But how could they have gone to Bangalore without telling her? Panicking, Madu calls her mother, and during the call, she learns that her parents have already been in Bangalore since that afternoon.
Hello, Ma. என்னம்மா சொல்ற?
என்னம்மா ஆச்சு?
எங்க இருக்க? என்னம்மா சொல்ற?
If her real parents are in Bangalore, then who was the woman pretending to be her mother? The revelation terrifies them all, especially Madu, who breaks down in tears out of fear.
Fucking do this.
Calm.
Always blame it on me.
Let's all calm down.
Lipo.
I'm sorry. மன்னிச்சுக்கங்க போதுமா?
பாத்தீங்கல்ல.
Did it?
No, that's exactly what you said.
As a caring boyfriend, Cibi decides to accompany Madu. Since his house is near hers, he quickly walks to Madu's house while keeping a video call open on his phone. But something strange and impossible begins to happen. Cibi should have already arrived at Madu's house, yet suddenly he finds himself back in his own room.
நீ கொஞ்சம் சீக்கிரம் வா ப்ளீஸ்.
Almost there, but
Confused and terrified, Cibi insists that he clearly left his house, walked down the street, and entered Madu's home. But somehow he is inexplicably returned to his bedroom. Meanwhile, Gautam asks Netra to check on her mother. Netra's mother had been paralyzed temporarily after an accident, so Gautam is worried about her condition and urges Netra to make sure she's okay. Netra goes to her mother's room while still on the video call. When she gets there, her mother appears to be asleep. Netra tries to wake her up, but she doesn't respond.
Ma.
Just check if she's breathing, Neetu. Come on.
Fearing something terrible has happened, Netra decides to call the hospital, but strangely her call connects to Gautam instead. Twice, she tries to reach the hospital, and both times the call goes through to Gautam. Suddenly, noises come from her mother's room. When she checks, they see her mother walking in her sleep. Everyone is horrified, knowing that Netra's mother was supposed to be paralyzed, yet she's somehow walking again. To make it worse, her face suddenly transforms into something terrifying, sending Netra into a panic. Shortly after, Gautam receives a phone call from Shruti, who tells him that she's been in her room the entire time. Gautam is confused because he clearly saw her room empty earlier. To confirm, he keeps the call connected and goes to check her room himself. When he arrives, it's indeed empty. But strangely, he can still hear Shruti's voice. The series of events is beyond reason, leaving everyone in confusion and fear. Then, Cibi tells Gautam to call Mr. Mugalan. Gautam does so, but instead, a man named Dava answers the phone. Dava informs Gautam that Mr. Mugalan has just died in an accident. The shocking news leaves everyone stunned. Dava then continues, saying that Charu, the woman Gautam hit, has also passed away. He explains that he will take over Mr. Mugalan's role in handling Gautam's case. Since Gautam had previously wanted to provide financial compensation to the victim's family, Dava sends him Charu's personal information along with details of her family in case Gautam still wants to send money. Gautam tries to tell Dava about the strange and frightening events happening to them, but Dava's voice suddenly turns eerie and distorted.
ஹலோ சார் முகிலன் சார் ஹலோ
சொல்லுங்க
சார் ஹலோ சார் முகிலன் சார்
ஆமா நீங்க என்ன சார் முக்கியமான மேட்டர் கால் அடிச்சு எடுக்க மாட்டேன் டாக்டருங்களாம் எவ்வளோ ட்ரை பண்ணி முடியல
இல்ல சார் அதான் இல்ல சார் ப்ளீஸ் சார் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுங்க
Cibi then tells Gautam to check the file Dava sent by email. When Gautam opens it, he is shocked to see Charu's face. Fear grips him as he recalls that the person who came earlier with his brother-in-law looked exactly like Charu. Overwhelmed by terror and guilt, Gautam begins to lash out, blaming Cibi, Madu, and Netra. If only they hadn't made him drink that night, none of this would have happened. Because of their drunken mistake, Charu lost her life, and now her vengeful spirit is haunting them. Charu is coming for each of them, one by one, to take revenge. Amid the escalating horror, they suddenly see Madu's mother entering her room. However, Madu can't see anyone in her room. She starts to panic and cry in fear. While she's speaking, Cibi notices something strange. Madu, who usually stutters when she talks, is suddenly speaking fluently. Then, without warning, her face changes into something terrifying, as if she's possessed by an evil spirit.
Madu! Wait.
Cibi, Netra, and Gautam are completely shocked and don't know what to do. Suddenly, they hear the sound of a baby crying outside Gautam's room. The possessed Madu tells Gautam to check on his sister. Gautam immediately heads toward his sister's room, but as he walks through the hallway, he sees Shruti standing there, holding a baby doll.
வயிறு
Slowly, Shruti walks toward her room. Gautam follows her, but when he enters Shruti's room, it's completely empty. The horrifying scene leaves Gautam trembling in fear, and he runs back to his own room. Meanwhile, somewhere else, Madu grabs a plastic bag and places it over her head.
Look at me. Madu.
நான் உன் வீட்டுக்கு வந்தேன்.
Madu, no!
Madu, no.
Madu!
ப்ளீஸ் மது வேற
இரு நான் வரேன் coming. Madu, please! Madu, no!
It isn't Madu's doing. It's Charu's vengeful spirit controlling her, trying to kill her. Moments later, Madu suffocates and dies. Witnessing Madu's death before their eyes fills Cibi, Netra, and Gautam with grief and terror. They know Charu's spirit will soon come for the rest of them. After Madu's death, Charu's ghost targets Cibi next. The spirit disguises itself as Madu and tells Cibi to come to her house. Overwhelmed with confusion and sorrow, Cibi rushes to Madu's home. Netra and Gautam desperately try to stop him, but before they can, Cibi is struck by a passing car and dies instantly. Now, only Netra and Gautam are left alive. Before anything worse happens, Gautam gathers his courage and decides to propose to Netra. He had always dreamed of proposing to her during a small celebration, but with death looming over them, he doesn't know if he'll ever get another chance. Before Netra can even respond to his proposal, she is suddenly haunted by Charu's spirit. Terrified, she hides in her room, but the ghost already knows where she is. Charu's spirit slowly approaches her. Not wanting Netra to die, Gautam pleads with Charu's spirit to come for him instead. Immediately, Charu vanishes from Netra's sight. Seizing the moment, Netra runs out of her house. Meanwhile, Charu's spirit appears before Gautam and kills him on the spot. Netra rushes to her car, but when she tries to start it, the engine won't turn on. Suddenly, the doors lock by themselves, trapping her inside. From behind, Charu's ghost appears and kills Netra instantly. Then the scene shifts, showing the online world buzzing with excitement over a viral horror film titled Charu's Final Message. The movie becomes an instant sensation because it looks so real and terrifying. It turns out that everything that happened to Gautam, Netra, Cibi, and Madu was actually part of a movie created by Gautam himself. Because of its viral success, Gautam, Cibi, Madu, and Netra are invited to a talk show interview. During the interview, Gautam explains how the film was made. At the beginning of the story, we see Gautam and Netra preparing a movie script with a hit-and-run theme. Unfortunately, their script was rejected by a film production company. After that, Gautam, Netra, Cibi, and Madu went to a restaurant called Pandi. On their way home from there, they witnessed a real accident involving a woman named Charu. Until now, the driver responsible for hitting Charu has never been found. Inspired by that tragedy, Gautam came up with the idea to make a movie about himself and his 3 friends being the ones who hit Charu and later getting haunted by her vengeful spirit. They began producing the film independently with very limited funds. Within just 6 days, they managed to complete the movie, a simple but gripping story made on a shoestring budget. The film quickly went viral online, earning Gautam massive popularity and financial success. Out of goodwill, he promised to donate half of the profits to help pay for Charu's surgery. During the interview, the host asks if they ever met the real Charu. Gautam explains that although they only saw her through the hospital glass, he and his team had visited her a few days ago. He adds that once Charu recovers, they plan to visit her again. But then, the presenter delivers shocking news. Charu passed away the previous night. The whole team falls silent, visibly shocked by what they just heard. The next day, Gautam starts a live stream on his social media account. Since the film's success, he has become quite famous. Like any typical live stream, he interacts with his viewers in real time. Among the comments, messages from Madu and Netra appear, warning him to leave his house immediately because Charu's spirit is coming for him. Gautam laughs off the warning and ignores their comments, choosing instead to respond to trivial messages. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. When he opens the door, it's a food delivery courier, bringing an order placed under the name Charu. Gautam's expression instantly turns pale with fear. Still live on camera, he then hears the sound of someone crying from another room. He goes to check it out, only to find Charu's ghost waiting for him, seeking revenge. In an instant, the live stream abruptly ends, and later Gautam is found dead. The shocking twist is finally revealed. The person who actually hit Charu was Gautam himself. He and his friends made the film based on the real accident to cover up his crime and divert police suspicion. Gautam even spent a large amount of money to manipulate CCTV footage and destroy evidence at the crash site so that the police couldn't track him down. After Charu's death, her spirit comes back to take vengeance by killing Gautam, and soon her vengeful curse will continue, coming for Cibi, Madu, and Netra next. The story ends there.